Hello good people, may I give you the steps on how to stitch this blouse, a wraparound that has no sleeve, a sleeveless wraparound. So these are the two front panels of the blouse. So I take the panels and I stitch the darts. These darts are stitched at 1/4 inch, and it would be neater if you would go and overlock those darts, but in this example I did not do that, but you go ahead and do that. I take the back panel, I stitch the back darts, and they should look like this. Go to the ironing table and iron them flat. So take the back panel now, flip it over, and then take the facing, take the right side of the facing, align the two on the neckline and on the armhole. Go ahead and stitch only the neckline. So the neckline here is stitched at 1/4 inch. So to relax the neckline, you should rather notch the neckline using this method that I have demonstrated here. Make it a point that you do not cut all the way to the thread, and then after you have notched, you flip the neckline of the facing and that of the back panel. You can go ahead and iron that so that it is easier when you are inserting your top stitch. So you go ahead and stitch the top stitch where I am demonstrating, which is the side that has the facing. So the top stitch should always go on the side that has a facing, and it should be a very small stitch. That one looks neater. So as you are stitching, make sure you open the seams as I am doing here. This prevents pleating of the neckline. So you stitch that, and after you have done that, you then have a product that looks like this one. So this one wasn't ironed, but you can take yours to the ironing table, and this is the end product that you are looking for. So you repeat the process even for the front panel. You take the facing right side on each other, and you go ahead and stitch at 1/4 inch. And after you have done so, you can open the seams and iron for a flatter finish, and then you insert a top stitch on the side that has a facing as demonstrated in this clip. So now that this one was already ironed, there's no need for you to pull the fabric while you are stitching to open it, unlike the previous one where we had to stitch and spread the fabric at once. This one is already flat, so this is what we are aiming for. The interfacing has been inserted. So since I did not have the footage where I was showing how I joined the shoulders, I took a footage for a round neck, but it follows the same principle. So you take the shoulders from the facing for the back and the front, and you align the shoulders as I am doing here. You can pin them together, shoulder from the facing and shoulder from the back and front panel joined together, and this is what it looked like. This is a continuation of what we had started with, and then now we want to stitch the armhole, hence I am flipping the fabric. So you stitch the armhole. This is the armhole stitched now and overlocked, and then you pull the back panel from that tunnel. You pull the front rather from that tunnel that was created on the shoulders when you were joining the two armholes. So this is what we are going to have, and then now we want to insert our side seams. So you take the side seam for the facing, align it for the back and the front, and you align the side seam for the back and the front, and then you stitch the side seam as I am demonstrating there. So here you just want to be mindful that you stitch at using the stitching allowance that you calculated for when you were drafting. If it's 1 inch, keep it at 1 inch. And then for the front panel, we want to insert a waistband. So the waistband is already joined. If you want to see how I joined it, you can say I can create a video for that. So you take the waistband and you stitch it between the facing and the front panel. Sandwich the waistband between those two where I am pointing, and this is what it should look like. And at the end of the day, this is the blouse that we are going to get. Thank you for watching.